G'day, and welcome back to Silver Run Forest. You're here today because you want to know about contracts, more specifically the Deadwood contracts, and whether or not they are worthwhile doing. Now, more specifically, the contract says it pays, well, the one I'm looking at pays $1,800, but it also says we can collect the trees and sell them. Does that significantly boost our income? I'm not sure, but we are going to find out. Now, if you're new to the channel, make sure you subscribe because I am doing plenty more in-depth videos about Silver Run Forest and Farming Simulator in general. So make sure, like I said, you subscribe and you don't miss an episode. And also don't forget to like the video if you find it helpful. So, let's delve right in. We're going to accept this contract and then we're going to take a look at it. Once we've accepted the contract, go back to your main map and you're going to have to look around a little bit to see where the contract is. Oh boy, it's all the way up north. Didn't realize it was quite that far. So, give me a second to get up there. I guess I'm going to take the pickup truck and I will see you in a second. Alright, here we are at the north end of the map in the giant redwood area. I decided to bring you back in here now because, well, lots of people are asking whether or not it's worth cutting these giant redwoods, and no, it is not. Absolutely not. You make no money from cutting them down. You get very, well, it's just not worth it. They are a reforestation project. They are an endangered species, and Giants has incorporated that into the game, so do not touch them. Leave them alone. Alright, so here we are next to the red circle. This is where we start. We have to look around now for deadwood trees. More specifically, we have to look for the deadwood trees that have been marked. If you go outside of the circle, don't be too worried. This is a no, that's not a deadwood. That looks like a deadwood. Here's a deadwood up there. It is outside of the circle. You will notice if we go around it, there is no markings on it. So we want to go up into the area inside the circle and we want to look for deadwoods. Here's one. It's got the "this is to be cut" marking on it. So you want to look for the trees with the exclamation mark. And I'm a little too far away. There we go. And let's go up to the tree. It says it's worth 916 kilograms worth of wood and it's 21.1 meters. So it's a decent sized tree. Okay, so we're at the top of the circle and we want to look around now. There's another deadwood there. Look up. I'll cut this down, and as I'm cutting it down, I'll tell you why. Because there are certain live trees that look like they're dead. And the only way to tell whether they're live or dead, like this one here, if you're not looking upwards, it looks exactly like a deadwood. But you look up at the top and it's still got green foliage on it. This one I think is outside of the circle, so we won't bother with it. It's hard to oh no, it has a marking on it. Does it? No, it's just the red from the bushes. These missions become even harder in the winter time, or sorry, the fall, when a lot of these bushes turn red and we're outside of our circle again. Anyway, let's bring up our map and we will see how we're doing for the contract. Contracts, here we go. So we're at 17%, and we'll continue progressing from there. Right next to one we cut down is this. Yep. Here's another one to cut down. And that's how it works. So we just keep running around inside the red circle. There's another one. Like I said, the easiest way to do this is to look upwards and look for trees. It doesn't matter how high or how low you cut them, as long as it's below that marking, by the way. And there we go. There's another tree done. If you cut down the wrong tree, here is a warning for you. You will suffer a significant penalty. It'll make the contract totally unworth doing. So do not do what I almost did and cut down a tree that you think is a deadwood, but is perfectly healthy and alive. Alright, give me a minute and I'll bring you guys back in rather than you just watching me run around in circles. Alright, I'm pretty much done. It took me a while to find this last tree. It was tucked in, and from a distance with the other two trees, it looked like it was alive. And it was the only tree all the way out here by itself. So let's chop this down and we'll complete our contract. Contract finished on Farmland 5. I'm just going to fly up in the air for a second and I'm going to show you something. You will notice, and flight mode, here we go, that the area surrounding the red circle is a little bit devoid of trees. So you'll know, as long as you're in the right circle, a little clue is if the trees suddenly start to become sparse, you're outside of that range. Right, at this point, do not collect the, well, we'll see. I'm going to say do not collect the trees, because as soon as you do, like any other contract in the base game, as soon as you hit collect the money, everything resets. So if you have done a contract, let's say base game wise, and you have baled the straw using the bale straw mod on another farmer's field, and you go ahead and you accidentally collect for the contract, all that straw disappears. So just like the other contract, you have to collect first and then turn in the mission. Alright, I will see you guys over at the sell point. I'm going to collect these and we'll see what they're worth. Alright, here we are at the sawmill, ready to sell our wood. I'm going to move off the marker. There's a couple of things to bear in mind before we even look at how much money we make. Remember, that was a pretty hilly area, so you're going to have a hard time getting your wood out of the forest. You might even need a yarder to do it. or some sort of a winch system, or super strength if you really want to go that route. And then of course you gotta load the trees, but they're spread out all over the place on a very hilly area, so it was a little trickier than I thought it would be to get them out. That was that was 3 trees, and I made $7. So it is definitely not worth collecting the wood from Deadwood missions. Even if I had collected all 15, well, 3, yeah. So I would have made triple the amount of, or 5 times the amount of money. I'd have made $30, and so that's not worth my time and gas to drive a logging truck up there, collect the trees, and then drive it all the way back to the saw point. You might as well just go right ahead. And actually, I want to try something here. We're going to go ahead and we're going to collect the mission. And I want to see if all those Deadwood trees appear instantly, or if you have to wait for the mission to respawn again. Deadwood complete, $1,800, collect. So it looks like the Deadwood trees are, this was just a total curiosity question, but it looks like the Deadwood trees respawn when a new mission respawns. If you're on your own land and you cut down a Deadwood tree, don't worry about it. It's gone. You don't want it. It's worth, well, what's 7 divided by 3? It's worth nothing. Anyway, I hope you found this video useful. If you did, please give it a thumbs up. And I would say for the amount of time it took me to cut down the trees, it's not a bad source of money. Later on, we will look at the other 2 types of contracts and see if those are even more profitable in terms of time. It took me maybe 10 minutes to make $1,800. Alright, thanks for watching. Take care. Jay.